Hello friends, and welcome to my page, The Right Guidance. My name is Lisa, and I'm here to do a pick a card reading for you. Happy Mercury retrograde. Should we be celebrating that? Probably not. Mercury is retrograde from July 7th to the 31st this month. So it's a fantastic read for those of you who are not aware of what you should and shouldn't do during retrograde. But I can tell you not to sign any important contracts, not to come into any agreements with people, anything that's legally binding, probably not even getting married at this time would be great. It goes on and on. Electronics can go a little haywire. So it's an interesting read. I am going to post a link to it on my Facebook page for those of you who are interested. It's also called The Right Guidance. So I am going to be using the Angels of Abundance Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Grant Virtue, her son. And I'm going to be asking your angels and guides to step forward and to let me know what you need to know during this important retrograde period. So from July 7th, we have a jumper. We have many jumpers, 1 second. Okay, let me grab them. Okay, so we're gonna have card number 1, and then I'll hold them all up, and then it'll be easier for you to choose your cards. Card 2, 3. So we're asking, what do you need to know? Wow, they're feisty. What do you need to know for this important time? So what you should be focusing on. So I've already kind of like set the intention before I started the reading, so don't worry about me having clear intent. I need one more card apparently, and I found it. Okay, so I'll hold them all up. Just put the back down. Okay, so we have card 1, 3, 2, 3. I'll hold them up closer too. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. Is that easy for you guys to see? Let me make sure they're all peeking out, okay? So 1, I'm gonna put it back. Ready? 1, 2, just to help you choose. 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. So you might be attracted to more than one card. That has nothing to do with me. Whatever your guides, whatever your intuition is telling you in your higher self, we're gonna go with that, okay? Okay, so those of you who chose card number 1, I'm just gonna show it to you. So if you'd like to take a screenshot of that, and I'll zoom in on the message there if you wanna take a screenshot of that. If it's not showing up backwards, I'm not sure. Okay, so it's donations, tithing, and charitable work, okay? So I'll just read the bottom of the message, and then whatever channel messages come in of ideas and reasoning will come through, okay? Give joyfully to the organizations and people who spiritually support and inspire you, and know that your generosity will be returned to you manyfold, in miraculous ways, of course. The time, supplies, money, and or other resources you donate will ensure that your positive energy multiplies. I feel a sneeze coming. Okay, maybe I can just will it away. Okay, so can you possibly clean out your closets and donate it to a charity that might be, giving people, work clothes, business clothes? I forget what the charity is called, but there's so many great organizations. Instead of just dumping it somewhere, there's a lot of organizations who also pick up, and there are, organizations through churches too. So if it's maybe a clothing, maybe it's a supplies, maybe you're going through, and you've got far too many baking supplies or anything like that, and maybe you can donate them to a shelter for a woman who might be just starting off with her family. Obviously, the list goes on and on. Perhaps I'm also being shown that, donating your time to coworkers too. So let's say you can be almost like in a mentor situation. Maybe you're having a lot of students at your work this time of year, and maybe over lunch you can offer to sit down with them and talk about their goals and maybe give them some guidance and just some tips and tricks, because all of us who, have sage wisdom, especially about our, line of work or our journey, it's wonderful to share what you've learned, what, shortcuts, and, just any general guidance. People love to have a mentor. So perhaps even being a mentor, not necessarily giving anything but time and, guidance is a beautiful thing to help others. Okay, so I'm going to move on so the video doesn't become too long. Okay, card 2. They want you to do the work, okay? And what it says, it's not enough to dream or pray. You've also got to take positive action steps that you've been divinely guided to take. Consistently work on all of your priorities. It will make them flourish like a lush garden flower. Well, that was kind of dorky. Okay, so we all set goals. Okay, so what priorities have you been putting off? What goals have you been putting off? And have you been working on your goals? If you're like, but I'm working on my goals. Well, great. This is a kick in the pants that for the remainder of this month, listen, goal setting, give yourself a certain amount of things to do for the week. If you want to actually break it down, because I'm a Virgo, I'm a lot more organized. I like to do like by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like this is what I am going to do. So you are guided to set some goals and priorities for yourself for whatever is important to you. So what work are you maybe putting off? Does it have to do with even, a new business, a small business you're thinking of starting, or even some studies that you perhaps have been putting off because you're thinking about applying to a new job? This could even mean, for those of you who watched the reading I did last week, you could even be thinking about going back to school, so that doing the work could be like even registering for your courses. Okay, so let's move on. Ooh, look at this card number 3, raise or promotion. Yes, who doesn't want a raise or promotion? But you have to do the work to get a raise or promotion. So perhaps by the end of the month, if you were and still have to do the work, like cleaning up a resume or finishing up a course so you can apply for that internal promotion, or perhaps even putting your resume back out there. This is an awesome, awesome message. I'm so, so happy for you. What it says is, congratulations, an increase in your abundance flow awaits you. This is the result of your positive focus and willingness to take action based on your divine guidance. Keep up the good work. There's really nothing else to say except for hard work does pay off, and a dedication to your goals absolutely makes you worthy and deserving for the abundance flow to find you. So I would love to hear in comments or sending me a message. I would love to hear how that resonates with you and what ends up happening for you by the end of the month. So yes, good luck. All right, card, are we on 4? 4. We have the card of savings. And what it says is, as you consistently save for your future is saved. You do your future self a big favor as you consistently set aside present funds. This is a part of your self-care and path to feeling secure as you focus on your life purpose. So perhaps you are saving to take courses, you're saving to take a special trip, but it should be like, it's either like it's more of a self-care focused expenditure, I would say you're saving up for or thinking about. And if you're not thinking about, your guides are like, there's something that you should do in the name of self-care. Even just getting on a plane and going somewhere, going to a cottage or renting something, especially those of us who in Canada where the summer is short and winter is so long. But who's to say that you can't save up to take a trip in the winter, right? So this is, important for you to say, listen, I need to put some money away. And maybe whatever you're thinking about buying, maybe you can buy things on the cheaper side, some clothes and things like that. It doesn't have to be so expensive. That's leading with ego and unnecessary. So stop paying for designers to lead a very lavish life. Okay, so what can you do to save for something important? Setting some goals. That's exciting. And if you've already got something in the works, again, they're like saying absolutely you should do that. So if you're thinking about it, this is your absolutely sign from your guides. Okay, next card, 5. They're asking you to attract it, not to chase it. That could be opportunities and people as well. So if you're working on yourself, which I hope you are doing, all of us are, I'd say the last couple of years, especially with my clients that I see, a lot of people are moving into like serious self-care, serious, you know, internal work. And it's about like, what do you want to attract? What do you want to attract for those of you who are single? For those of you who are, say, you know, recently moving out of a relationship, we've got to purge that so that way you can attract exactly what it is you want and deserve. And the only way the universe knows exactly what you deserve to mirror that for you is for you to take amazing self-care, amazing care of yourself, and, you know, even to just be kind in what you put forward out there, okay? So just like the first card, you know, donating your time, donating, you know, resources, and doing good work, okay, to help others in the name of helping others. So attracting and not chasing card says, anything or anyone you chase after will run the other way because of the fears underlying chasing energy. Instead, attract what you need by sending out love, gratitude, and welcome energy. So that's actually a really important message. So when we send out love and gratitude for the people that we come into contact with, especially people who we might be romantically interested in, you know, if you're doing the work and maybe, you know, the timing's not right and the divine is trying to say like, not yet, or even for those of you single who are not ready to put yourself back out there, if you're doing the work, okay, and you're putting out love, and especially self-love, looking at yourself in the mirror and just like putting the work into you and appreciating who you are. We can all just work with what God gave us and to just love and appreciate ourselves exactly how we are now, and not thinking that, you know, when we, you know, gain muscle, lose weight, do all these things, then we're ready. No, love yourself, improve yourself internally, because to me, you'd be a lot more attractive if you were amazing inside than if you were amazing on the outside, okay? So let's move on. Card 6. A quiet retreat is on order for you. So some planning apparently. I do see someone planning camping. And for those of you, okay, let me just listen here. Okay, there's someone who's planning camping, and it could be with friends. It's gonna be with a group or yeah, it's a plan, and it's like really you're talking to people to really work the kinks out of this plan, and they're letting you know if it's a quiet retreat you're looking for, camping wherever you're thinking about is not the place, okay? So maybe renting a cottage where there's a bit of surrounding property where you can control your company is a lot better, because sometimes with camping you can move into a rowdy spot and it won't really give you that retreat you were looking for. Other than that, let me read the message, because obviously that's not going to resonate with everybody. It's time to disconnect from the outer world so that you can discern the process of true thoughts and feelings from your inner world. Create this quiet time for yourself and you'll have more clarity about what to do next. So that's important. And for those of you who can't necessarily afford to go away, but perhaps, you know, you can go somewhere, like we have a lot of parks here in Ontario that even for the day you can do a staycation and just utilize, you know, the resources that are around you. Like I absolutely love being on the water. So people who like, you know, a puny little kayak, I put my butt right on a canoe by myself. I like this, like the strength it takes, and I like the size. So for me, if I were to get this card, if I was doing a personal reading, I would think like, what is a quiet retreat? Somewhere out in nature, I would say, and somewhere, you know, where you can disconnect and you can say, you know, for those of you going with partners or going with friends and family, you know what, like let's have a rule about disconnecting and, you know, maybe playing board games and card games and things like that, where it's a quiet retreat away from technology. It's very important for us to take a detox from technology every now and again, and just enjoy the company around us with full honored attention for the people who we're with. Last card. They want you they want you to face your financial fears this month. Okay, let's read that. When you're honest with yourself about fears of success or failure, they can no longer control you. Be free of hidden fears by exposing them to the light of awareness, and you'll realize that you in fact have nothing to fear, and that every successful person has struggled with and released these self-doubts. Actually, that's a pretty cool message even for me to hear. You know, oftentimes we see successful people and we're like, oh, you could be envious. I've absolutely been envious, especially, you know, being a single parent, and, you know, I only have the one income, and having, you know, a child with autism too kind of puts kinks in things too. But now that they're grown, and, you know, you can kind of put yourself back out there. For those of you who are putting yourself back out there, or even thinking about, you know, should I go back to school? Can I, you know, put myself in a situation where I can, you know, move into a field where maybe I will make more money. And maybe you think like your self-worth is telling you, you know, you don't have what it takes, but it's just fear, okay? All of us can be successful, especially when you lead with your heart center. So working in a field that, you know you're divinely called to will absolutely bring you the abundance that you're looking for. So face your financial fears. They want me to look back on this. When you're honest with yourself about fears of success or failure, do you have a fear of what success means? And, you know, does that mean that I'm going to work long hours? Like, you have to kind of let that go about what that means to be successful. Okay? I think just working hard and putting your heart and soul into something, and working and collaborating with people, mentoring people who you can along the way, and just being a generous and good person means that you're rich on the inside too. Okay? So I wish you all a happy Mercury retrograde. I'll be here to do a love and relationship reading next. So bye guys, and love the feedback, of course.